Hey guys, welcome back. It's time to talk about the quarterfinals. And now that we're getting down to the wire, we don't have as many matches to analyze. So, this video, there were 4 quarterfinal matches. So, I am going to talk about every single one of those matches. Plus, we might get into a little bit of a controversy that happened last night. Or at least not last night for me. It was during the day yesterday for Australia. But the quarterfinals have wrapped up. The semifinals are late tonight, at least here in Texas. It'll be like 2:30 a.m. for the first one, and then like the second one is like an hour later. So maybe I'll get to catch a glimpse. Probably not, but we'll see. We'll see. I got a little tiny glimpse of one of the men's quarterfinals this morning, very early. But well, it was a very small glimpse because that match, I mean, everybody knew it was pretty much going to be a blowout. So anyway, back to the women's side. Let's talk about the quarterfinals. Let's talk about some controversy. And yeah, we'll get into it. I'm back to tooting my own horn, I guess, on this. After some of my previous picks got eliminated, of course I do repick based on the people who won and all that. And my repicks, 75% correct. So the first semifinal tonight is going to be Sabalenka and Badosa. That's the one at 2:30 in the morning. And then Keys and Swiatek are, within a couple hours of that. So, again, like I said, maybe I'll catch a glimpse. I'm not counting on it because, again, the time difference is so severe that it's just wild. So yeah, but there's your final 4, and yeah, let's get into the matches. Alright guys, so the first quarterfinal match was Coco Gauff against Paula Badosa. As you can see, it was a close match, but Paula ended up pulling it out. Coco had 4 aces, but unfortunately 6 double faults. She does need to lower that quite a bit still. Obviously, because Paula has been playing her best tennis recently, as you might have seen in yesterday's video. Paula, of course, had 3 aces and only 2 double faults. The first serve percentage is pretty similar. Win on first serve, pretty similar. But when it got to second serve, Paula just she just went all out. To say the least. Paula was broken twice. Coco was broken 4 times. And no tie breaks on this one. Although they did have a 6-5 situation in the first set. Watching the national championship football game here on Monday night, I didn't get to, because that was on, I didn't get to watch this particular match, except for a little bit of coverage by Cam Williams on YouTube, and at that point, it was, Badosa was pretty far ahead, and hoping Coco would mount a comeback, but unfortunately she did not. But we're on to the next tournament for Coco. Badosa is playing her best friend later tonight. So, yeah, be on the lookout for that. Alright, next match. Guys, second quarterfinal was a little bit of a difficult match for Aryna Sabalenka. As you can see, it was her first 3-set match of the year, but she ended up taking taking it, and the conditions, she said, were like super windy, and she was trying to figure out how to manage that. And I think Pavlyuchenkova was trying to do that too. The double faults, pretty similar. Aces, exactly the same. That first serve percentage, very similar, you know. Went on first serve, similar, you know. Went on second serve, even very similar. Sabalenka got 6 breaks, Pavlyuchenkova was broken 6 times, is what I mean. And then Sabalenka was broken 5 times. So it was a very difficult match for both of them. Hopefully the conditions kind of settle down a little bit for the semifinals, and the players are able to kind of be comfortable and enjoy the moment. But yeah, so this is the second quarterfinal. Sabalenka is on to play, like I said, her best friend, Paula Badosa, later tonight. So we'll see what happens. Next match. Hey guys, here's the second to last match of the quarterfinals. Madison Keys against Alina Svitolina. Keys dropped the first set. She did have 4 double faults, but she also had 6 aces, and in the second and third set, she really played some of the best tennis I've ever seen her play. She was hitting amazing winners and just looking for those easy shots as well. This was a very similar match as well, but Keys ended up pulling it out. Of course, you know, the double faults were heavier on Keys' side, but she navigated it. Nailed this percentage right here. But as you can see, very similar, very similar, very similar. There were only 3 breaks in that entire match. Keys broke twice. Alina broke once. No tie breaks. Overall, it was a very good match from both competitors, but Alina just kind of towards the end got a little depleted, so hopefully we'll be able to see Alina succeed here in future tournaments. But Madison Keys moves on to the semifinals. So the last match of the quarterfinals was Swiatek against Navarro. Everybody was excited for this one, but Navarro struggled to get balls in most of the time. Whenever she would make errors, it would be either long or wide or both. There were only 2 aces throughout the entire match, and each player had 1. Iga had 2 double faults, but obviously what killed Navarro was this right here. She just struggled to place the ball when it came to, like, you know, and it would miss by like mere inches. It was difficult. And of course, unfortunately, Navarro was broken 5 times, and she could not break Iga. That's just how Iga is, you know. She's a very difficult player, and she is through to the semifinals after defeating Navarro last night. But yeah, as you can see, 6-1, 6-2. Obviously, that was the same score as Sabalenka and Andreeva, but this was a little bit of a better match than that one. It took a little bit longer, and Navarro had some really good opportunities, whereas Andreeva just struggled the whole match most of the time. But Navarro should be very proud of the tournament she's had. she should be proud of the general hitting that she did yesterday. We just got to work on getting those balls inside the lines. And yeah, it'll be great for the next tournaments. I'm excited to see her play. But Iga is the one that moved forward to the semifinals to play Madison Keys. So that'll be an interesting match later tonight. Now, the controversy came last night with Iga and Navarro. There was a shot that the ball bounced twice, and Emma, after the point, went over to check on it, and just to be sure. But unfortunately, even though the ball did bounce twice, the Australian Open officials made the call that since Emma did not stop the point early enough, she waited until after it was done, and it was already awarded and all of that. But yeah, she waited that long. Because of that, the point stayed. So hopefully that rule changes in the future, but that was a little bit of a controversy last night. But Iga probably still would have moved forward, but it would have made Navarro a little bit closer, and it probably would have given her a little bit more confidence as well, just for that shot. But good on her to check on it just a little bit earlier. Okay, guys, that's it for this video. I'm gonna edit it and get it up before I go to school. I will be at school for most of the rest of today. I've also got church tonight. But because I need the sleep before tomorrow, I will not be watching those two like later matches. Again, there might be a chance where I wake up early enough to catch it, but probably not. I'm not banking on it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Enjoy the semifinals. We'll talk about it later. Bye.